Hello, hello, hello. How's everybody doing tonight? How are you doing out there? We are live. This is Wednesday night. This is Physical Media Tonight on a Wednesday night. Yeah, I guess I'm excited. We get to talk about the death of physical media again. Look, um, I'm tired of talking about it, to be honest. But it's news. It's out there. People talking about it. People making videos about it. I might as well talk about it. It is what it is. Even though, like, wasn't this news like a year ago? Like, wasn't the whole Sony like Blu-ray thing, wasn't that like a year ago? I feel like I talked about it a year ago. And now it's news again because it's actually happening now and it was just rumor before. I'm not exactly sure. I just know that like I've got a lot of physical media. So like I'm good for a little bit, I'm pretty good. I guess if it dies, it gives me time to catch up on everything, right? It gives me time to catch up on everything. All right, let me I feel like I'm too close. Too close. Let me back it up. How's everybody doing tonight? I hope y'all can hear me. We're going to have a nice chill stream. I'm going to try to not go any later than 11:15. I really I got to stop streaming until like 12. It makes Thursdays extremely rough. It does. But guys, like I've been recording videos like a madman. I recorded like 3 videos before I went live. I think I've got like 10 videos recorded and like ready to go, plus the 3 tonight. So like I've got content for like a couple of weeks. So I might take like a week off soon. Just like catch up on a bunch of movies. Maybe do a couple videos here and there, like new stuff to review. But you guys won't know it. You guys won't know it because the videos will keep coming. All right, I think we're adjusted. Can you guys hear me okay? Danny says physical media will never die. Honestly, like I don't I think it'll be around in some form for a long time. I mean, you can't never say never, Um I'm sure there'll be a time when maybe it's not coming out hardly at all. Maybe it's like in the underground markets and things like that, but I think we're good for I don't know, 15, 20 years probably, Maybe 10, 15 years. But it's a good amount of time to enjoy it. Like we're in the time right now to enjoy it. It doesn't have to last like forever, you know? Let's just enjoy it while it's happening. Like we're in it. This is the time to just enjoy it. Have a great time. Quit arguing about like additions. And I know I say that, but I complain and stuff all the time. But that's what I do, on this channel. I got to comment. I got to commentate on something. But quit complaining about transfers, additions, box sets, the artwork stuff. Let's just enjoy it. It's here. We're getting great stuff like all the time. So much great stuff. We can't keep up. We can't keep up with all this great stuff that we're getting. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. I mean, like never like I mean, look, I didn't collect like laser discs and stuff. I wasn't super into like collector sets and stuff back in the 90s and the 2000s. Like I was just buying whatever VHS tape I found at Suncoast Video or whatever DVD I found at Walmart or Myers back in the day, whatever the newest thing was. But like there's so much. Like I feel like it's never been like we've never had as many like different kinds of movies and titles come out at one time. It's like crazy what's going on. $2 super chat from Blood Wire Radio. How much impact will the tariff have on movies? I mean, you're asking the wrong person. I don't really know the details of tariffs, what's gonna happen. I will say this is just what it feels like to me, and I'm not trying to get political or anything like that, but it feels like the people that are like tariffs, 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 um, like it feels politically motivated, if that makes any sense. Like because they don't like who's in office or what he's gonna do, they want to try to say this is going to negatively impact physical media and it's going to cause it to die. That's what it feels like to me. Like me, I'm not like a super political person. I kind of see things from both sides, and I really just try to form and think for myself and form my own opinion. Um, but those people feel like you can just tell, like it just feels politically motivated when people start fear mongering about tariffs and things like that. Not saying that it's not going to affect physical media prices. I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying I don't like know enough to like really comment on that, like how the tariffs are going to affect physical media prices. I mean, I've already said like physical media prices they're going to go up in 2025. I think they were going to go up regardless of tariffs or not. Like they're going to continue to go up as we go. It's just what it's moving towards. But if you guys checked out my video that I did Sunday, where I talked about how prices are going up, yes, but in a lot of ways, physical media has never been cheaper. Like it's really never been cheaper in a lot of ways, and I broke that down in that video. There's so many sales. Like you can get on Amazon right now and probably find 40 to 50 4Ks for like $12 and under. Like there's sales all the time. Sales all the time. Kino sales, you can get 4Ks for 18 bucks. Like quality stuff. Like you were paying 30, 40, $50 for VHS tapes back in the 90s and Laserdisc, $100 for Laserdisc. Now you're getting the best quality ever. And if you don't get like the super like premium box sets and like big editions with like pins and posters and all this extra stuff that you don't need, like if you just get the basic bare bone set, like it's really not that expensive, like compared to what it was like in the 90s and even in the 2000s. So, I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I see Jake's in here. What's going on, Steelbug Obsessed? He asked me, I'm going to go back up at the top because I know I got some good questions. What movie do you think is going to win Best Picture at the Oscars? Oh my God. So I hope to God it's not that Amelia Perez movie. Jesus. My wife and I are trying to start a series on our channel, Married with Media. If you're not subscribed, I got the link down below. We're going to go through and try to review all the Best Picture nominated films. We got like a month to do it. So we started watching Amelia Perez because it's on Netflix, and that movie is wild, but it's completely like incoherent as a film. It's all over the place. It does not work at all. Like the story, the musical aspect, everything. Like it's a horrible movie. Like from my subjective opinion of it, obviously, movies are objective always. Um, it's like one of the worst movies I've ever seen in my life, and it got 13 nominations. What is going on? But again, go back to what I said about politically motivated. I feel like that is politically motivated. Hollywood's got to turn something that is so like out of touch with the modern like film going audience. It's not even funny. Johnny Utah, $5 super chat. You make a great point. I still have unopened 4Ks. I'm definitely set. Thanks for all the content. I appreciate it, Johnny. And in one of my videos I was filming tonight, um, I was like, yeah, I might talk about this more in depth someday. I've got so much back there that I've added to the collection that I could literally like make videos on everything. So it's like I got content for years and years and years and years. And then after that, like if physical media is gone, we can just talk about movies. I like to talk about movies anyway. I try to in every video. Um, physical media is great. I love it. But, like everybody's saying right now, I feel like this is a common theme going around. It is about the film. Obviously, it's about the film. But yeah, I don't, it's not going away for like another 15, 20 years. And like, I'm gonna be close to 60 by then, so it's like I'll be ready to settle down and just watch the shit I got. So, like, personally, I'm good. I feel bad for, like, the newer generation, but, we can go and get into this a little bit. It's like we care about this stuff, right? And we want to pass it on to the younger generations. Like that's the idea. Okay, physical media will live forever and the younger kids will learn to appreciate it. Next generations will learn to appreciate it. And it'll just go on and on and on. And it'll resurge and all this stuff. That's not really realistic. It's not. Like I like to think that it is, but kids today, like forget about physical media. I'm not so much worried about the death of physical media as I am the death of movies, the movie watching experience, like, as we know it, because, like, kids are showing less of an interest in, like, watching film today than they were 10 years ago, and I feel like it's gonna get worse and worse because there's so much out there for and I've talked about this before. There's so much out there to consume. There's this, YouTube, um there's freaking TikTok and Instagram. You can spend like I do it, like my wife does it. We can spend hours just scrolling reels on freaking Instagram. Like there's so much like content for people to consume now. Like I worry that like because when I was a kid, like all I had were my VHS tapes and my movies and cable and TV and watching TV shows and movies. Like that's all I had. So that was my life. I rewatch movies over and over and over again. Kids aren't interested. Like they may watch it once, they don't care about rewatching it. And that's when you grow to, like, really love the movies. Like, you watch a film and you watch it again, you watch it again, you watch it again. You get to where you can quote it, where you can memorize stuff. Like, that's when you really, like, get into it. Like, you really just grow to love it. And that's lost now, I feel like. I don't feel like kids like, I'm certainly there are some, I'm sure, cinephiles, but and there's the mainstream movies that come out like Wicked that'll pop up Barbie and they'll do well at the box office because they kind of capture the cultural, moments and they'll do well, Oppenheimer, but like I don't know, it's not the same anymore. It's not the same anymore for the younger generation and if they don't have that built-in nostalgia at a young age, then they're not gonna give a damn about collecting the stuff when they're older. Like, if they didn't watch it twice or 5 times or 10 times when they were younger, why the hell are they gonna care about watching it again when they're older? They'll just remember that it was a good experience and a good movie, but that's it. I don't know. What do you guys think about that? 99 super chat from Scorpions fan 21. Can you seen Breaking Movies 4K? So that'd be cool. I got them both. I haven't watched them. I bought them back in the day for a buck a piece at the Dollar Tree. That was in the Dollar Tree heyday back in the day. I think they were MGM DVDs, and those DVDs did not have menu screens or anything. And then I did notice that like a lot of those Kino's been upgrading to Blu-ray, so maybe like Kino will do the break-in films on Blu-ray. But I didn't answer Jake's question either. Sorry, Jake. Let me go back. What do I think will win Best Picture at the Oscar? If I had to guess, um, I needed to look at all the nominees, but off the top of my head, I want The Substance to win. I honestly think it has a shot. I feel like that movie has a lot of momentum right now. I feel like a lot of people are discovering it, and it's only building and building and building. Um, but out of all the ones nominated, let me look at the nominees real quick. And they screwed my boy Clint Eastwood over because Juror Number Two is one of my favorite movies last year. It should have got a nomination. Certainly, like over Amelia Perez. Like almost every movie that came out last year, Madam Web deserved a nomination over Amelia Perez. What do I think will win? I, damn it. I like I said, I hope the guy like Amelia Perez got more nominations than any other movie. Like usually that would mean it's got a really good shot at winning. I hope to God it doesn't. So I'm not even gonna entertain that notion. I'd say it's between Anora and The Brutalist. Like The Brutalist has got a lot of hype right now as well. I don't think Dune Part 2 is gonna get it. I don't think Conclave, I don't think A Complete Unknown, I don't think Nickel Boys. Wicked, maybe, but that would be pretty like, you don't see a lot of the you see a lot of the mainstreams, like, getting nominated now. Like, ever since Top Gun, I feel like more mainstream movies are getting nominated, but I don't see Wicked winning. Um, I could see Anora or The Brutalist winning. I don't know which one, but I could see either one of those. But honestly, like, I really feel like The Substance has a shot. Like, looking at all these, I feel like The Substance has a lot of momentum, and I honestly, like, I don't know, if like Coraline can pull out Best Director and Demi can do Best Actress. I feel like the momentum will be shifting in that movie's favor, and it might get it. It might get it just because I don't feel like there's not a clear winner like there was last year. Like Oppenheimer was easy, but there's not a clear winner this year. So it's really kind of a toss up, you know. Let me go up to the top. I've said a lot of crap and I've barely addressed the chat. I apologize, guys, but that's why you guys are here, right? To hear me babble, yap, and all that crap. Kevin Kruger asked, "What are my top 5 favorite body horror movies?" I don't know. I'd have to. That's hard to think of off the top of my head. The Fly, obviously, number one. And then I'd have to like break down like what is considered body horror. Like I'd have to put some thought into that, Kevin. I can't write all that off the top of my head. Better actor, Jim Carrey, Adam Sandler. That's a good question. Um, that's a good question. I I'm gonna say Adam Sandler. Okay. And I'm gonna tell you why. I feel like Adam Sandler can dig a little bit deeper into the characters that he's playing. Whereas Jim Carrey, even when he's in a more dramatic role, he still feels like Jim Carrey. I feel like Adam Sandler can dig a little bit deeper and become something other than the usual Adam Sandler shtick, if that makes any sense. And when I'm thinking of Uncut Gems, like he way unlike his normal character, like most of his films. I don't think that Jim can go there. I don't know. He's been great and stuff. Like Man on the Moon, he's fantastic, but he's also playing a comedian, and he is a comedian. So it's not like he's stretching himself. Truman Show is great, but there's still a lot of Jim Carreyisms in that performance. So I would say Adam Sandler when he wants to, when he's locked in, I think he can. I think he's got better range. Um, let's see. Johnny said Blu-rays will be dead by Christmas 2025. Enjoy while you can. Well, I am. If they're dead by Christmas 2025, again, I've got so much I can watch. I'm enjoying it. We don't know when it's done. We don't. We like to think it'll last 20 more years, but we don't know. So I'm gonna enjoy it. I'm gonna enjoy it. Kill Bill's out, Johnny. You can tell you pay attention to the channel. Do you ever watch? I just reviewed it like 2 weeks ago, man. Where have you been? Under the Skin sucks. Sucks. I hate it. It's every video I've ever done where I've talked about like my most hated movies in my collection. Like I always bring that one up along with Midsummer. I do not smoke cigarettes. Michelle's got a good question. Can if a train leaves point A traveling 100 miles per hour and another train leaves point B traveling 120 miles per hour, what time is it when both hands on the clock point up? That's a good question, Michelle. I can't even think of that right now. Guys, we got 217 people in the chat. Thank you all so much for joining. Hit the like button if you haven't already. I don't know if I got the super chat yet, but oh yeah, I already got that. I handled my super chats. Thank you all so much for the super chats. Let's see. Amanda says I'm a Yilf. I don't know what a Yilf is. He wants me to do a Beavis impression. Who's Beavis? It's all the Beavis I got. That's it. What's up, Jeremy? Yes, we'll get into that. I've got like 3 articles I'm going to read off of. Is not stop movie TV shows. Sony Japan stop recordable Blu-ray discs. Not movie Blu-ray making in Mexico. Okay. I hear you guys. Look, you clearly watched some videos and read some stuff. I haven't really looked into it too much. Other than I remember talking about it last year, Yeah, there's a do I have a copy of Barbarian because I might be able to get it? Yeah, I mean, there's a bootleg. There's not a legitimate one, but there's a bootleg out there. That's so ridiculous we don't still have that. I just wanna say, like, I made a video about that. I think was it back in 2022 talking about Barbarian, we needed on 4K and it was BS we didn't have it. And apparently there was this rumor that there was this guy on social media, I think the producer, Rory Lee, I think is his name. He's talking about doing special features. And then everybody was like, started freaking out on me. And they were like, Ken, it's coming. Why are you doing this? Why are you fear mongering? It's coming. He said it was coming. I was like, he didn't say nothing about it coming. He said they're working on features like they could put that on streaming. It doesn't mean there's going to be a physical version. And here we are 3 years later. It's not here. Oh my God. Oh my God. Tombstone needs it. It does. It does. Watching Star Wars Episode 4 on 4K. Nice. I need to rewatch Star Wars. It has been. I don't think I've actually sat down to rewatch the original trilogy since it was either before The Force Awakens came out or it was before The Last Jedi. Maybe The Last Jedi. I don't feel like it was that long, but even The Last Jedi, like that was like 7 years ago. It's fucking crazy. Middle Earth 4K collection has the films individual cases rather than cheap large case that stored all the discs. Yeah, yeah, yeah. What's up, Sean? What's up, Don? What's up, Movie Man 934? It's been good, man. It's been good. Let's see. Some of my favorite Shout Select 4Ks. I actually got a video coming out. Well, not Shout Select. Shout Select probably JFK. That was a good set. That had a lot of features, multiple cuts. That's definitely up there. Red Dawn was also a great one too. Yeah, the gaming's definitely the first to go. Like, I mean, they're still doing physical gaming, but like it's the first to go. I don't want to get too much into gaming because people get mad when I talk about gaming. They say, "Ken, you don't know what you're talking about." Yeah, people like to say that a lot, but I don't think a lot of people know what they're talking about either. They just talk. They just talk shit. And if it sounds good, they stand by it. That's how it is. Just watched Hereditary for the first time. I love Hereditary. I would love Second Sight to do a box set. I saw that in the theaters. Me and my wife used to go to the theaters all the time on a Tuesday night. I would always get like an IPA and I would go in there and I would sip on it. And I remember like I was feeling good when that one scene happened and it fucked me up like really bad. I was like, oh my God. I was so like messed up. I think the beer like really enhanced it. Oh my God. Yeah, that scene's crazy. So crazy. Um April predictions. I'm gonna get on there in a second. Let me go through this chat real quick. Guys, I can't get what's up, Mama Blu-ray? How you doing, Danny? What's up, Adrian? What's up, Adam Baker? What's up, John Dojo? I'm gonna try to address as many people as I can. I cannot get to everybody. We've got stuff to talk about. Okay. If you got a question, I'm gonna try to get to that, but what's up, Jordo? Robert Egger wants to do Labyrinth. Yeah, that'd be cool. What's up, Nocturnal Toothbrush? What's up, Michelle? Thank you for the question earlier. Yeah, I like to keep it in order. Now I reorganized my stuff over the weekend. If you're following me on Instagram, I posted some stuff on there about that. But I'll have a video on that out next week. That's one of my videos I have filmed is my movie reorganization. I usually do that once a year, twice a year. And yeah, I organized the crap out of this collection. I had to get some stuff off the floor. It was ridiculous. What's going on, Rights? Howdy, howdy. What's up, Scott? Let's see. It's Don again, 818. Yeah, it's Don. It's been Don for years. Oh my God. It's been Don like since I got back into collecting. Like that's how long it's been Don. It's been Don since 2010. You can watch movie. Netflix is here. It's dead. T-Bone finally caught the live stream. Hey Ken, thanks for your channel. My wallet loves you lots. I'm sure it doesn't, but or maybe it does if it likes to, empty itself and spend money. Dominic Rocco says, let's be honest, hard to find an underground horror. Are you never going to die out? Movies you can see on TV cable might be the movies everywhere. Movies you can't find on stores. Dominic, I don't know what you just said. I'm confused. Games being digital sucks now because you need Wi-Fi to play them, which sucks. Yeah, I don't want to talk about games. People get upset at me, but I will say, like when I reorganized everything, I hooked my PS3 back up. I like the PS3. I didn't appreciate the PS3 back in its heyday because I was like sucked into the Xbox 360, like back in my 20s. I was an achievement guy. Like I had to get the achievements and stuff like that. And PS3 had trophies. I thought trophies were lame. So I bought everything on Xbox 360. Plus I loved Halo. Like I played so much Halo. Call of Duty, of course, Modern Warfare 2, Modern Warfare 3, Black Ops. Like I was in all that stuff. BioShock, Mass Effect. Like I played everything. Everything. I need to do a video on my Xbox collection, but I don't think anybody would be interested. But I hooked my PS3 back up and I started playing me some Ratchet and Clank. I love Ratchet and Clank. So I was playing Future Tools of Destruction. Just something to do. Like if I got like 20, 30 minutes, I need to try to focus on relaxing every now and then. I feel like I'm always like moving and doing something for the channel or working or whatever. So I hooked that up just so I could like have some me time every now and then. Play for about 30, 40 minutes and go back to doing whatever. It's only a slow death in the same way our lives are slow death. It's not going anywhere anytime soon. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Let's see. I wouldn't even begin to know how to do that. I wouldn't even begin to know how to do that. But I mean, it's something that it would be cool. Probably a lot of work, but it'd be cool, you know. But all the movies I'd want to put out, like I couldn't get the licenses for those. Like my label would be like all Ernest films. I would work hard as hell to get all the Ernest films, the license for all the Ernest films. And once I had it, that's all I would put out. I'd be like Dark Sky Films. I'd be like putting out different editions of Ernest, like they do TCM every single year. Here's a big chunky box set of Ernest Goes to Camp. Here's a steel book of Ernest Goes to Camp. Here's a slipcover, Ernest Goes to Camp. And I just do that for all the Ernest movies, you know. Change the slips every year, put them in different types of collectible packaging, you know. You know what I mean, Berm? What's the official news? We'll get into it. We'll get into it. It's bullshit, says Joe. It's about Sony Japan only, not selling mini discs or rewritable Blu-rays. Has nothing to do with the United States. Well, I mean, if they're not doing the recordable Blu-rays, it has a little bit to do with the United States. It's dying, though, ma'am. Didn't you hear? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what you heard. It's dying. Okay? That's the narrative we're running with tonight. It's dying. It's dead. Yeah, I need to get some more players. That's honestly like what I'm worried about is the players. You know, I need to get a Panasonic 4K player. I've got a Sony, but I need a Panasonic. Here, that's the best. Physical media isn't dying again, not again. I'm still trying to catch up. If they enact tariffs on stuff from Mexico, it'll make costs of discs go up quite a bit, considering they're almost all manufactured there. I mean, you could be right. You could. I mean, yeah, I'm not saying anybody's wrong when they say that. It just, to me, it feels politically motivated. It does. Keeping up, you got that right. Vinegar Syndrome is announcing 5 titles Saturday. I mean, they're going to announce more than that because they got all the partner labels. They'll probably announce 20 partner labels too, and it'll be like 25 titles that I got to look at. Jeff says the tariffs will not affect physical media. The comments in the comments like it are ridiculously silly. See, there's somebody on the other side. People on both sides. You know, it's political. You know, it's turned into a political thing. Like nobody has objective facts because it hasn't happened yet. You know, that's what I have a problem with. It's all speculation. I can get into speculation too, but until it happens, it hasn't happened. So, right. Ain't no use to getting upset about it. You're absolutely right about the people screeching about tariffs on disc are more political and where they're coming from and how adamant they are to push that in every comment section I look at. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When it starts just popping up and it just feels like almost feels like an ad or something, like it's a bot. Like somebody just like programmed these bots to go around and like comment this stuff on all the videos. Like when it starts to feel like that, then it just starts to feel disingenuous to me. And like I said, it could happen. I'm not saying it couldn't happen. I'm just saying, I think it comes from a bias place. But the tariffs themselves are politically motivated in a misguided way, not to get political. Yeah, like I said, I'm not political at all, really. Of course, I've got opinions, but it's they can lean both ways. I go both ways. Don't take that for what you will. Don't take that the wrong way. All right. No tariffs actually can negatively impact our economy as a whole. I think that's why people are scared for media. Yeah, I'm not saying they can't. All studio releases are wrapped and shipped from Mexico. Yeah. Let's see. The recordable discs are ending, but they will still be used for home media. Wishful thinking, Mike. If physical media is indeed dying, at least I'll have my sweet UMDs to play on my PSP Pro. Exactly. I never got that. I never had a PSP, Jake. I never had a PSP. I wanted one, but I never had one. What I did have though was a Sega Game Gear. Now those were awesome. Those were pimp. The Sega Game Gear. You get 6 AA batteries and it would go dead in 30 minutes. My parents would always be so pissed at me. Like, you need double A's again? I'm like, I've only been playing for an hour and a half. They're like, you play that too much. I'm like, I'm trying to beat Sonic, for crying out loud. I had Power Rangers on that thing, though. I freaking love Power Rangers. That was such a good game. Such a great game. Got another super chat. Daniel Martin, $5 super chat. I used to know a Daniel Martin. I used to work with a Daniel Martin. Is that you, Daniel? Can if studios move away from physical media, do you see director's cut and deleted scenes being a thing of the past? Maybe not director's cuts, because I could see them still putting those on streaming. I think for the Fall Guy, didn't they? When the Fall Guy came out in the theaters, there was a theatrical cut. And then when they put it on streaming, I think a couple weeks later, they included the extended cut. And that's what people were upset about, because they got it at home 2 weeks later and they got a better version than we got in the theaters. So, excuse me. I think that extended cuts, director's cuts, I don't think that those will be a thing in the past. Deleted scenes, maybe, though. And definitely like, interviews, behind the scenes stuff. Like, I could see some streaming services maybe getting into that. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe they'll transition all that stuff. All the studios will start uploading all that stuff on YouTube. Maybe like their own like studio YouTube channels or something like that. Maybe that'll be the way that you watch special features going forward. But that's a good question, Daniel. That's a good question. Thank you for the super chat. I appreciate it. Let's see. Where are we at? I think I just dropped. Didn't I drop a bad cuss word earlier, Jeff? I apologize. I try not to cuss as much as I can, but I did. I do sometimes. Where did you get your shelves from? I need that one that holds 400 movies. I got all mine hold 600 and something, but I got them linked down below, Sammy. I tried to put my Blu-ray player or my 4K player that I use is down below. My TV's down below, my sound system's down below, and my shelves are down below. I think I have all that stuff linked down below. So if you want the shelves, use the link. I'd appreciate it. That's my affiliate link, and it would help support the channel. There's me shilling again. Carlos, something's happening. Vantiva, the largest manufacturer of physical media, announced they are selling the whole optical disc division to another company, even vinyl. Well, damn. Holy shit. Oh, sorry, Jeff. I apologize. Let me go. Guys, we're behind. The Oscars are rigged and don't matter. I mean, I usually like the Oscars. I think they're pretty good about, nominated stuff and people that deserve it. Um, yeah, we'll get into that a little bit later. I'll talk about it. It was unusual at certain times. That's a big I need to get that, Jeff. That's a big one I need to watch. I've heard such incredible things about that film. Didn't it come out 2007? Came out the same year as No Country and There Will Be Blood. I need to get it. I have not seen it. I need to get it. I've heard everybody that I've heard talk about the film said it's a freaking masterpiece. I need to watch it. Um, yeah, I saw it. Hold on. Yeah, I saw it had like a 70 something percent on Rotten Tomatoes. Like to me, like you lose all credibility, like as a movie critic, if you give that movie a positive rating. It's like you can do it, like because film's subjective, right? But you lose credibility as a critic. You just do. Like that movie's just terrible. It's horrible. It's one of the worst I've ever seen. Oh my god. So I went to look at the price of the Frank Capra set. I'm so freaking mad at myself right now because it was 140. That thing's like almost 200 right now. It was 140. I should have jumped on it when it was 140. I thought it would stay there. Hopefully it gets back to there, but I didn't jump on it because I'm an idiot. So I'm hoping it goes back down. I don't want to pay $200 for it, but I hope it goes back down to 140 like during a sale. We got Average Dan's opinion, $1.99. My plan is ripping everything to a 16 terabyte NAS in 2025. Nice, Dan. It sounds like a plan. Gus says Madam Web is coming to get you. Hi, King. Thank you. At this point, Gus, you're paying for me to buy Craven, right? The next Sony shit show. But even much of the community is cringy at the horror music. Yeah, like the subject matter has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it at all. The movie's just terrible. And yeah, literally everybody, people from that community, Latinos, like everybody's going against that. Everybody hates that film, except for like people in Hollywood and the critics. So like, it's just insane. It's a terrible like representation of that. I don't know. Let's see. Ken, if I was born in 98, I can say that I grew up with physical media or no? Sure. Yeah. I mean, it was around in the 2000s, 2010s. Yeah, I saw that. It was going around everywhere. In a lot of ways, he's right. He's right. And let's make one thing clear. He was not commenting on like the quality of the films. But he was commenting on just how important they feel. The studios are not doing a good job of making these films feel important now. And I do agree with him that 2019 is the last great year for film. Like if you look at the movies that came out in 2019, that was a freaking amazing year for film. An amazing year. And nothing has touched it since in the 2020s. 2020 and 2021 basically don't even count. It was like COVID years and we were only getting like straight to streaming stuff. But even 2022 had a lot of good stuff, but it does not come close to 2019. Like that's just one of the greatest years in cinematic history. Jordo says it's a shame that such an important Oscar nomination for a movie like Emilia Perez is a movie that sucks and has such a bad story. Even those of us in the LGBT. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like that movie is just a terrible like representation. There's so many better movies, even that came out last year, that you could put in that slot, to better represent that group. So I just don't get it. That's just I don't know. I don't know if Netflix just paid them off or something. Like maybe I don't know what happened. That's crazy though. Um, yeah, my wife and I we got like over an hour into it, and oh my god, oh my god, movies are dead with the kids. That belongs to our generation. They won't even watch a film that didn't come out in their lifetime. Yeah, I mean that's not everybody, but the mainstream. My kids like they'll watch movies. They don't care about movies though. They're up in their rooms right now. They're playing video games. Um, they're watching YouTube. They're watching reels. Like they don't care about this stuff like we did. It's sad. I hate it, but it's the way it is. I'm hoping that like when they get a little bit older, like I can get them into more stuff. I mean, we all watched Kill Bill as a family like a couple of Saturdays ago, and it was nice and they enjoyed it. Like my son really liked it, but he's not like coming down here and asking to rewatch it. Like when I was a kid, and if I watched a movie like Kill Bill for the first time and it blew my mind, I'd want to watch it again the next day. I'd want to watch it a week later. I'd have that thing watched 5 times in 2 weeks. Like when I found a movie I loved, I watched it over and over and over again. No kids do that now. No kids. Even kids that are into movies don't even do that now, I don't think. So it's sad. We got a $12 super chat from Robert Josephson. What's your hopes and guess on the next Columbia Classic box? I actually heard that that number 5 was their last one. I would have to look at some movies, Joseph. I can't, like I said, I cannot do that off the top of my head. So let me just look at stuff from the 80s that you could put in there. Columbia films. I mean, Stir Crazy. That'd be cool. Yeah, this would probably take me a while. Hard Bodies. That's a Columbia film. Let's see. Oh, St. Elmo's Fire. You could put St. Elmo's Fire in there. Silverado. That would be a good one. I'd take Silverado. All right. Let's go back to something a little bit more classic. See if we can find some stuff in the see if we can find some stuff in the 70s. I'm just on Wikipedia. What about yeah, I don't know. Let's go a little bit later. I'm going to the 90s. Going to the 90s. I mean, Boys in the Hood has a 4K, but that would be cool to put in there. What about Mo Money? Yeah, I mean, a lot of this stuff already has 4Ks that I'm seeing. Oh, Blank Man. They own Blank Man? Are you kidding me? Yeah, put Blank Man in there. Money Train. The American President. There's some good ones. Fly Away Home. Yeah, I feel like I'm failing this list. Yeah, I'd have to sit down. I can't rattle that off the top of my head. I apologize, but you did donate $12, so I tried. I did my best, but it wasn't good enough, I'm sure. Um, well, is this year's Green Book? I'll say this. I know there's backlash against Green Book. I saw Green Book in the theaters and I don't know. Like I guess I'm just a sucker for like basic stories that pander or something or disingenuous. I don't know. I don't know why people don't like it though. Like I freaking love Green Book. Like that was one of my favorite films that came out that year. I remember being in the theater watching it and like I was like in near tears by the end of it. Like I loved it. I thought Mahershala Ali was great. I love Viggo Mortensen, and I don't get the backlash. Like I don't. I don't. I get it, the whole like white savior thing, that kind of stuff that people get are really sent. I don't watch movies like that though. Like I just watch them and I get into the characters. Like if I like the characters and the story and the acting and the performances, like I like it. You know, I don't always like dive super deep into themes and messaging and things like that. Um, I don't know what that says about me. Maybe I'm not a deep enough film watcher, but I love Green Book, and I don't get the backlash to that film at all. I just think it's a really good story. But I like movies like that. You know, those are the types of movies that would come out in the '90s, and everybody would love them. Nobody would say anything bad about them, and that's the kind of movies I like. Like Juror Number Two. I feel like there's people out there that say that movie sucks. I loved it. I thought it was great. So, all right. This generation fails to appreciate movies. A blockbuster movie from 20 years ago will go unwatched in the theaters. Guys, I'm way behind. I got to catch up. The brutal. I need to see the Brutalist. I need to see Honora too. It's on. My wife and I are probably going to watch that. Probably pay $10 to watch it. Um, yeah, I want it to win too. I think you're right, Ken. The Brutalist and Honora are top. Honora is clear winner in my head because between the controversy around Amelia and Brutalist, yeah, there is controversy with the Brutalist. I think that'll definitely stop um, Adrian Brody from getting the win, but I don't know if it'll stop the movie. But yeah, yeah. Believe it or not, Ken, I may finally watch the Oscars this year after being away from it for 4 years, just because horror movies are nominated. Yeah, it's cool. I mean, that is one cool thing about the nominations this year. They're showing some respect to horror. Uh, is that what he does, Michelle, in every movie? But I feel like he has a little bit more range than Carrie. The question wasn't like who's the greatest actor of all time. The question was who's the better actor. I don't know. Um, has he ever been nominated for Best Picture? Probably not. Was he nominated for Dune? He had to have been nominated for Dune, wasn't he? There wasn't that much competition that year. I hear you. I love Denis Villeneuve. I'm just not a huge fan of the Dune movies. I don't know what it is about them, but when I watch those movies, it's like watching paint dry. Like I can't get into them. They're beautiful movies. Like he did a great job with them, but I don't know. They just feel so hollow. Like there's just nothing to them. I feel nothing for the characters. I don't feel any kind of emotion, stakes, anything. It just feels like I'm watching a bunch of paintings in motion, and that's just all there is. Um, but that's just my opinion, you know. But Denis Villeneuve's work before that, like pretty much everything, I love. Like Prisoners, Enemy, Arrival, Sicario, Blade Runner 2049. I haven't seen Incendies yet. I need to watch it. But like he had like an immaculate filmography, and then he started making Dune movies. Oh shit! I'm gonna get in trouble for that one. Good morning from Finland. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, Nine Inch Nails is coming back. All right, guys, we're going way down. We're going way down. Reason why I keep saying physical copies will always be the best. They will. They will. It could. I could see it happening. It's getting a lot of love. It's getting a lot of love, but it's not getting that Oppenheimer love. So I can't like say it's a shoe in, but yeah, this is a great Walmart shirt. Walmart had that. Yeah, the torch. PS3 had some good games. Like, even though I said I didn't appreciate it at the time, I still played a lot of the exclusives. Like, that's what I would use it for. I just didn't play a lot of the third party games on there. I would play them on Xbox, but I played God of War 3. I was a huge fan of that franchise. Played all the spin-offs and everything. Infamous. I loved Infamous. The Uncharted games, 1, 2, and 3, all great. Little Big Planet. I love playing the Little Big Planet games. I got them all down there so I can look over and see. The Killzone games were great. Resistance, like those games were awesome shooters. They just nobody. I couldn't play Resistance like multiplayer because like nobody in like my friend group back in the day cared about PS3. Like everybody was about Xbox, so I couldn't get anybody to play with me. So I'd be like, "Come over and play Resistance with me." They'd be like, "No, we're playing Halo, Call of Duty," and I just had to go over there and play with them. So I just couldn't play it as much because I didn't have enough people. But yeah, PS3 was it was a banger. Also, Heavy Rain, that was a good game too. Um, yeah, I could talk for days about the PS3, Wii, and 360 era. Like I was just entrenched in that stuff. Uh, yeah, BioShock blew my mind. Like that 2007, I played that game. I rented it from Blockbuster for 5 days. I beat it in 5 days. Um, that game was like it was like playing a movie. I had never played anything like that before. It just completely blew my mind. So good. So good. We got AVA pop culture. What's going on, Chase? 100 years later, and vinyl still accounted for 40% of all album sales. Yeah, I mean, you could be right. You could be right. I hope it lasts that long. I hope it lasts that long. What's your favorite action movie? That's a tough one. Going with my guts and my hearts, I would probably say Con Air. I love Con Air. I've seen it probably 150 times. The Rock is up there too. Pretty much all that stuff that came out in the 90s. I loved Broken Arrow. Like I don't hear enough people talk about Broken Arrow, but I don't know what it was about that movie. I had it taped on VHS and I watched that like over and over again. Like I loved it. I thought the nuclear explosion was just so cool. Um, and just that aspect of the film, John Travolta, Christian Slater, great cast. I love Broken Arrow. I haven't seen it in a while though. I need to rewatch it. But those are a few. Those are a few. Con Air probably. Or no, I'm sorry. Speed. Speed is 100% my favorite action film. 100%. That's it. And then I would probably say Con Air right after that. Speed is, yeah, that's one of my favorite films of all time. All right, we got a couple more super chats. Thank y'all so much tonight. Um, any news on Armageddon and Tron films on 4K other than what I talked about before previously? I think we'll get them all this year. I think we'll get them all and Con Air, hopefully. Jordo's Video Village, $5 super chat. Thank you so much, Jordo. Ken, as you're watching David Lynch movies, don't watch them as puzzles or try to figure it out. Just let it wash over you. What's your next one? I watched Eraserhead. I was going to do a video on that. I still might. So I'm going to leave my thoughts. But I need to watch Elephant Man. And then I want to go through his entire filmography. Maybe like do a ranking video after that. The only problem is I will not be able to watch Fire Walk with Me. because I haven't seen Twin Peaks, and I don't want to watch that and not watch Twin Peaks. So I would have to watch Twin Peaks to watch that. So it might take me a while, or I might just have to do a ranking and leave the Twin Peaks movie out of it, since that's kind of its own thing. Let's see. Ernest Box said the spirit of a Jim Varney saying, "Hey Vern," over and over. Hell yeah. If you don't love Ernest, then you're just not human. I was gonna say you're not American, but there's people in the chat that aren't American, so you're not human. We'll just say that. All right, guys, I'm way behind. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Thank y'all so much for being here. There's 266 people here. I appreciate you guys hanging with me. Let's see. Yeah, I'm hoping to watch that soon, actually. Very soon. Yeah. What's going on, Frankie? How you doing, buddy? And I get that a lot as far as Daniel Martins. There's a lot of Daniel Martins out there. I worked with a Daniel Martin for, I think, 5 years back in the day. This is way back in the day. I used to play Call of Duty with Daniel Martin, so I'd be like, "Oh my god, he found my YouTube channel." That's crazy. Yeah, is there a lot of the doom and gloom? I've seen a lot of people defending. Like I see Chase was in here; he was defending. I saw his thumbnail. I haven't seen a lot of like the doom and gloom. Well, I know John Campia made a video, but he always does that shit. Like he doesn't know what the hell he's talking about ever when he talks about physical media. Like he literally said on there, what did he say? He goes, a big thing with Blu-ray collectors is they like to record or their own discs or something. That's what collectors like to do. I'm like, what? Like maybe some of them do, but like that's not how we collect movies. Like I'm nostalgic for the days when I was recording movies off of TV onto VHS tapes, sure. But like I don't like sit there and want to record movies off of streaming and stuff like that. Like I want actual like legitimate like physical copies. I don't want to make my own. Come on now. That's not a big thing. I mean, I could see it doing it, but honestly, I feel like people are listening and paying attention to the backlash right now, and I think because of that, I don't think it has any chance of winning Best Picture. Um, I think it could have if they would have got anybody like behind it. I think it could have. That's what I'm saying. Like I feel like the substance has a shot because I feel like everything else has kind of got like problems. I feel like the substance can just like slip right in there and ride that momentum and get it. I watched it last night, Chase. I did watch it last night. Winchester 73. Watched the special features today. Filmed my review today, and that'll be out Friday or Saturday probably. But yeah, I won't comment on it, but I watched it. We need Dick Tracy on 4K, all colors in that movie would pop for sure. It would. I think isn't that 20th Century Fox? Panago 70, they put out Player 5 years, so yeah, just buy what you can. Just buy what you can. All right, guys, we're going down the line. I try to go. I try to like. I go on like sprees. Hell yes. Hell yes. I don't know if it'll be any good. I love Romy and Michelle's High School Reunion. That's another movie I probably watched like 350 times when I was a kid. Now's the best time to watch physical media, Frank, because there's so many incredible options for so many incredible releases with such great quality, with such great packaging, with such great features. Like it's never been like this before. It's never been like this. That's why it's the best time. Options are limitless. And it's just fucking cool right now. It's just cool. That's what it is. What's going on, Allie? I'm way behind. I feel like half these streams are always me commenting on how behind I am. Let's see. Oh, let me answer this real quick. What shows do you think need to be on UHD Blu-ray? I'll start Breaking Bad, Shogun, Star Wars Track, Breaking Bad for sure. Okay, that would sell. People would buy that. So put that out on 4K. That needs a 4K. Other than that, I mean, Game of Thrones has a 4K. I'm trying to think. I mean, maybe Sopranos you could put out on 4K. I think that would do well. I mean, it's just tough with TV shows. Like to be realistic about it, you have to think to yourself, what's a show that would sell? For one, because if they're going to put that level of investment, because like when they're remastering a TV show, like they're remastering hundreds and hundreds of hours versus two on a movie or three. Um, so that has to be the juice has to be worth the squeeze on those. So it has to sell. It has to be a big seller. So Breaking Bad, I think, would do well. Um, Shogun, I mean, that's a newer show, so that probably wouldn't be expensive to do because it was probably already streaming in 4K. So yeah, sure, put that out. Star Trek, I mean, yeah, Star Trek: The Next Generation, I think would probably sell pretty good. Other than that, though, other than Breaking Bad, I can't think of a show that like would make me buy it for one. Um, I don't know. I don't know. Oh, Allie, let's see. It makes me so sad that movies aren't as important to kids nowadays as they were for us. It makes me sad too, you know. Yeah, my son was 14. So yeah. I try to show him stuff like last year we watched Predator, we watched RoboCop. I showed him all the Back to the Futures when he was like 9 or 10. Um, we watched John Wick recently, so it's like I'm trying and he likes them. But like I said, he's not like wanting to go back and rewatch them, you know. I am. Didn't isn't that super hypocritical of me, James, you know, but it is what it is. I like to talk about this stuff. I mean, I'm sorry if I'm killing physical media, you know. I can't control it. If I'm not on here, then you'll just watch somebody else, you know. Uh yeah, I think The Wire I think is too niche even though it's a popular show. People like it. People love it. But The Sopranos I think would sell. Is that Sony, Michelle? Is that Sony? Yeah, I mean, In the Line of Fire has a 4K. Taxi Driver has a 4K. I think it could happen to you. Didn't that have a 4K? A lot of those have 4Ks, Danny. I love Blank Man. I would take Blank Man in a heartbeat, you know, in a heartbeat. Like I have a bootleg Blu-ray of Blank Man. Like we need it. What's up, 80s mate? How you doing, buddy? American President. That was a good film. Madam Web for sure. Madam Web's a borderline masterpiece. Borderline. Yeah, Green Book is great. I freaking love Green Book. I bought the 4K when it came out. I remember going to Best Buy to get it. Like, I freaking loved that movie. Loved it. Um, but like, I like basic movies that remind me of like the 90s. Like I said, I feel like that movie could have been made in the 90s. Just give me like some good performances, a good story, some heart, some emotion. Like that's all I need. You know, the story of like two people that are kind of at odds, and then they become friends. I love those type of stories. I love those type of stories. Now, should it have won Best Picture? I don't know. I'd have to remember like what came out. Bohemian Rhapsody was a big one that year. Star was Born. Um, I didn't care that it won. I didn't care that it won because I loved it. But you know, people bitched about Bohemian Rhapsody too, and I love that freaking movie. So, but I think A Star is Born's great too. There's a lot of good movies that came out 2018. Uh, yeah, I think you like it, Allie. I think you'd really like it. Let's see. Honora is stunning. Yeah, I'm excited to see that. I like pretty much everything I've seen from Sean Baker. So let's see. Prisoners is a freaking great movie. See, people coming out for Green Book. They like Green Book. They like the Green Book. Sometimes incredible films do win. I mean, Oppenheimer was an incredible film and won last year. Um, I don't know if they're gonna do the entire set. I think they're gonna do them in sections. I think we're gonna see, Sean Connery. I think we're gonna see Roger Moore. I think we're gonna see, um, uh, I mean, Timothy Dalton only had like what, one or two films, so maybe they'll lump him in with like Roger Moore or something. And then I think we'll see Pierce Brosnan, which that would be the set that I would buy. You put out a Pierce Brosnan Bond set, like that's me. That's me. I'll buy that. Um, not that not that I wouldn't want the Bond films. I haven't seen a lot of the older ones though. Like I've seen all the Pierce Brosnan ones. I've seen, I think, three of them in the theater. The only one I didn't see in the theater was Goldeneye. But I love the Brosnan ones. That was in my era. Like I was a kid when those came out. Never really got into the Daniel Craig ones though. I saw Casino Royale and that was it. I was good. I was done. I would love that. Adam Sandler would be the next James Bond. That would be great. That would be great. Beyond Two Souls, I have that. I have not played it. I've not played it. I prefer Bad Boys, but Lethal Weapon's okay. First, see, I don't think of First Blood as like um like an action movie. First Blood Part 2 is. I see First Blood as more of like a survival thriller drama. It's almost more drama than it is action. Um but First Blood, like if we're lumping that into the action category, that's one of the best films of the 80s. So I wouldn't fault you for picking that. All right, guys. T2's up there, but again, it's like if you're gonna put that straight in act, that's like action sci-fi. That's when we get into like subgenres and combining genres and stuff. When I think of like the best action film, I'm like, this is it has to be a pure action film, no other elements. You know, would I put T2 over Speed? Probably. It would probably be up further on my ranking. But it's different to me. I don't know. I need to watch that. I need to watch that. Like after watching Winchester 73, it's like I want to watch every single Anthony Mann, James Stewart Western. Um, Four of my favorite action movies: The Killer, Hard Boiled, Full Contact, Die Hard with a Vengeance. Nice. Don Omega says, let's be honest, movies coming out now aren't as good. It's mostly sequels, remakes, etc. We had Back to the Future, Batman, TMNT, Jurassic Park, Forrest Gump, etc. Yeah, it's not like there aren't like really cool, interesting movies, like good movies coming out now, but they're like too under the radar. Um, they're not like we got all kinds of different kinds of awesome films and they were mainstream and they were in theaters and they played in theaters for like months and there were all kinds of different types of cool movies and like they would get nominated for best picture, like the movies that were nominated for best picture, like you heard of, back in the day. It's like now you haven't heard of half of this shit. Let's see. Oh, we got a super chat from Haas McPizza. Thank you so much. Ken, what three directors' work would you want to see more of? Well, I said it earlier or a second ago, but Anthony Mann. want to see more of his films. I want to see more John Ford films. And I'm trying to think. William Friedkin, I need to watch a good portion of his filmography still too. Um, oh, I don't know. I don't know what they could scrape together for another one. They'd be digging deep. I mean, they've done a lot of the big ones. I think like Strangers on a Train. Um, a lot of the other big ones like Criterion has. I don't know if they still own the rights to them, but Strangers on a Train. Um, I don't know if that's Universal or not. I don't know if Universal or not. Yeah, I love American Beauty. Love it. I really want the Deadwood TV show in 4K UHD. That would be a cool one, but again, I don't know if they do it. How many seasons is it? Is it like 3? Yeah, yeah. I need did they put out season 2 of Severance? I like the first season. I need to watch it. Man, I loved Mad Men. I loved Mad Men. I watched it all the time. Um, I think there like 7 seasons. That was on the same time as Breaking Bad, but I didn't catch up to Mad Men until I want to say 2013. Like I binged through like the first 6 seasons I think on Netflix and then I caught up to the final season. Like I remember watching the final season as it aired because I caught up with it. I don't think I started it till like 2013 though. Um, but yeah, Mad Men's a great show. It's a great show. Yep. All right, guys. Is that legit? Somebody sent me an image earlier. I don't know how legit that is. They sent me like a steelbook image, but I couldn't find where it said 4K on the spine. I just saw Blu-ray. If they release a Blu-ray steelbook of the Mask special edition, if Warner Brothers pulls that bullshit, I'm gonna be pissed. Like so pissed. Like you're not gonna give the Mask a 4K, but you're gonna put out a special edition. So I hope that's a 4K. Let's see. I love GoldenEye. Like and also like the Nintendo 64 was like such a big part of my childhood. So I like yeah, I love the movie, but like I also played the game like crazy. Multiplayer, like that movie, that whole time period was just so nostalgic. All right, we're catching up, guys. I appreciate that, Jeff. I appreciate that. I appreciate that. But I get what he was saying, you know. Terminator 2 is overrated. I don't think it's overrated. I think it's a great movie. I haven't watched season 2 yet, Jordo. Um my wife and I really loved season 1 though. Oh, definitely Speed 2. Are you kidding me? Speed 2 is one of the greatest action films of all time. Yep, very cool. Very cool. I need Black Rain and Hard Rain on 4K. Yeah, I didn't mean it was an Anthony Mann film. I just I know that isn't James Stewart in that though? I feel like they talked about that in the documentary on the Winchester 73 release. I do not live close to Buffalo, New York. I do not. Yeah, it's Warner. So if we see it, it might come out through Warner Brothers. Maybe get a steelbook or something. Um, I'm catching up, Mike. You put this down at 10:45. I'm like 3 minutes behind. I caught up. I see it doesn't take much to please you, Ken. Con Air, out of those action movies recorded, huh? What action movies recorded? I'm sorry. I'm simple. You know, I don't call myself mid-level for nothing. Come on, man. What's up, Movie Den? Um, probably, probably Breaking Bad was more entertaining though. It was, and it was a deep show too. I mean, it got into a lot of deep shit. Um, but Mad Men was certainly much more methodical and introspective in its approach. But definitely a slow burn as well. But I love that show. I loved it. Loved it. It was just one of those shows you put it on and it was so relaxing to watch. So relaxing. The way that they handled the drama, like it wasn't like super over the top, but it just kept you engaged and interested like the whole time. It was like one of the most perfectly written shows I've ever seen. All right. Let's get into the news. Thank you. Yes, Frog splash that like button. All right, let me bring this up. I'm going to read these articles for you guys, and we're going to decide together: is physical media dead or is it not? Is it dead or nah? Nah. So I'm on Yahoo Tech. Sony's binning Blu-ray that won't cut your home cinema choices. Let's see. Quick summary: despite some initial reports, Sony isn't shutting down all Blu-ray production, but it is getting out of the recordable disc business. If you're a home cinema fan, Sony's delivered some bad news. The company has confirmed that it's exiting the Blu-ray business. However, despite some initial reports, the move won't affect your home cinema options for the foreseeable future. That's because Sony's only shutting down its recordable disc business for now. TV and movie Blu-ray releases will continue as normal. Okay. Yeah, we knew that. We knew that, right? Yeah, we knew that. The confusion occurred late last week when Sony Japan announced that from February, it will no longer be manufacturing recordable versions of Blu-ray discs or mini discs. So, who started all this fear mongering? What website was it that started all this stuff? You know, because all most of the articles I pulled up were like in defense of what's going on, and they were trying to explain what was really happening. So, um, let's see. For now, it's business as usual rather than pushing. Let's see. However, the recordable bit seems to have been lost in translation, and several sites reported that Blu ray was dead. It isn't. Yeah, who was reporting Blu ray was dead? For now, it's business as usual rather than rushing to publish Blu ray is dead. Articles How to Geek reached out to Sony for clarification and got this response. In Japan, we have a culture to record TV programs to Blu ray disc and sell blank storage Blu ray discs for this use, a spokesperson said. The subject products of this notification are the discs, no other products, including recordable Blu rays containing our TV programs, movies sold by Sony Pictures, or Blu ray players sold by Sony corporations in the scope of this notification. In other words, your movie Blu-rays and 4K Blu-ray releases won't be affected for the time being. This isn't the death of physical media that some early reports panicked about. And as Sony's recordable Blu-rays were exclusive to the Japanese market, the impact is going to be minimal elsewhere. That said, Blu-ray's future is still looking a little shaky. As we reported last year, sales have been in decline for a while, and some big names such as Disney are moving away from physical media altogether in favor of streaming. Well, I mean, that's not entirely true. They're putting their shows out on physical media. But as much as streaming offers convenience, there are several key areas where Blu-ray absolutely beats it. Picture quality and sound quality being two key factors. Whether through censorship or simply cost cutting, streamers often remove movies and TV shows from their catalogs. And of course, you can't stream if you don't have a subscription. You don't need to pay for ongoing access to the Blu-rays on your bookshelves. While Blu-ray itself is safe for the foreseeable future, we're still waiting for the next gen successors that have been long promised but not yet delivered. And with Sony starting the inevitable shift away from Blu-ray, it may well end up being the last optical move medium you can snap up in the supermarket. Okay. Let's move on to the next article. This is PC World, and they're commenting. Look, they got a nice little picture of their Criterion collection with The Shining in the middle. Look at that. That's like mostly Criterions, and then you got The Abyss, Lawrence of Arabia, The Shining, and you got Crash, Arrow Video. It's a nice little collection. This says no. Sony's Blu-ray exit doesn't spell the end for physical media. Sony may have quit the recordable Blu-ray business, but reports of the format's demise have been greatly exaggerated. So everybody's defending it. So I don't know. All the I tried to like find the initial articles, but I guess maybe they took them off. Maybe they're like, "Hey, we were wrong. Let's take this shit off." Because all the articles I found were coming to the defense of all, and trying to shed light on the truth of what was really going on. Fans of physical media, myself included, tend to be a morbid bunch, dwelling on the rise of streaming while bemoaning the steady decline of Blu-ray, the home media format of choice for cinephiles. So when word came down that Sony will exit the recordable Blu-ray market next month, it naturally triggered a firestorm in the physical media community, not to mention dozens of scary headlines about, once again, the imminent death of Blu-rays, including my thumbnail that I made for this live stream, guys. I'm part of the problem, remember? I'm making YouTube content that keeps people from watching movies. And I put stuff like the long, slow death of physical media on my thumbnails. So I'm part of the problem, I'll admit that. That's fine. We are kind of a morbid bunch, We're a little touchy, we have a right to be a little touchy, okay, about this stuff. We love this stuff. We want to see it. We want to see it be around and flourish and get more popular, We have a right to be upset sometimes, okay? Especially when people want to gloat about it and smirk. I see smirk in here right now, actually. It feels like people that talk about this stuff that make videos are like, "Ooh, the Blu-ray is going to be dead pretty soon." And they're like smirking. It's like, "Yeah, go yourself." My Blu-ray collecting doesn't hurt you. Let me collect my Blu-rays. Why you got to smirk about it? Why you got to be why you got to be also all high and mighty, with your Peacocks and your Paramounts and your Netflixes. I got all that shit too. I just like collecting stuff. I like having physical versions, All right, let's continue. The last time funeral bells tolled this loudly for Blu-ray, it was because Best Buy had announced it was pulling the disc from its stores. I mean, let's get one thing clear. That was a much bigger deal than what we're talking about here. A much bigger deal. Leaving physical media fans to scrounge the shelves at Barnes & Noble, or, simply order our discs online at Amazon and plenty of other outlets. Well, Blu-ray, both standard and UHD variety, survived the Best Buy debacle, albeit in niche capacity, somewhat akin to vinyl. And from what some industry experts are saying, it will live through the latest Sony brouhaha too. The editors at HighDefDiscNews.com reached out to David McKenzie, CEO of Fidelity in Motion, a Blu-ray authoring facility that does work for such boutique Blu-ray labels as Arrow Video, Carlotta Films, Flicker Alley, Warner Archive, Second Sight, and Vinegar Syndrome. Yes, I've talked about Fidelity in Motion before. According to McKenzie, Sony's decision to quit recordable Blu-ray business has little to do with the overall market of packaged movies and TV shows available on Blu-ray. I mean, I agree. As McKenzie explains, the types of Blu-ray discs that Sony won't make anymore are home recordable discs, which how many of you all are currently recording stuff on Blu-ray discs? Like, how many of you all will this affect? Does this affect? Do you all care about having blank discs anymore? Because I haven't cared about having blank discs since probably 2002, when I was like downloading music from like Kazaa and LimeWire and putting it on a blank disc and taking like 3 hours to record one 4-minute song. Like I haven't cared about blank discs since that time period. Another media to disc, that's very different from BD-ROM disc pressed in factories for the big movie studios and smaller boutique Blu-ray labels. Thus, the Sony news isn't about how streaming is muscling out Blu-ray, McKenzie argues. Instead, it's about how cloud and flash storage has decimated the market for blank Blu-ray media. See, I agree with that. So basically they're saying People would rather store stuff on their computers than an actual disc, and that is true. So this doesn't affect like physical media because it's a separate thing. Like collectors that are collecting movies largely don't care about recording stuff and burning stuff on a Blu-ray disc. Like we don't care about that stuff. So this doesn't really like affect most people that are collectors. The story has been inaccurately, and I will argue irresponsibly reported by some media outlets, apparently unaware of the key distinction between home recordable media and the professionally replicated Blu-ray movies you buy in stores. McKinsey said, as quoted by highdefdiscnews.com, the latter is unaffected by Sony's storage media division deciding to phase out home recordable discs. Now, to be clear, the standard 4K Blu-ray market still represents only the tiniest sliver of the share DVDs commanded 20 years ago, and that's not going to change. The vast majority of those watching movie and TV shows at home are going to stream them, not spin them up on Blu-ray. I mean, that's true. That's fair. But while the audience for Blu-ray discs, particularly 4K Blu-rays, is small, it's also quite passionate, and there have even been green shoots of growth for UHD Blu-rays in recent years. So is Sony's withdrawal from the recordable Blu-ray market a great thing for physical media? No, but it's not exactly a death nail either. So there you go, guys. There it is. You know, there's nothing to worry about. No, the sky was falling, and now it's not falling. You know, we're okay. We're in the same position. We're in the same boat that we were before. Physical media is still a very niche thing. We all knew that. Okay, it's been that way for, I mean, pretty much since I got heavy back into collecting Blu-rays. I mean, at the beginning, you know, when I would go to Best Buy on a regular basis back in like 2016, 2017, it felt bigger. You know, there were more aisles, there were more people browsing the aisles. Walmart had a bigger section, Steelbook section, 4K section. It felt bigger like when 4K first came out. It felt like more people are interested. But now it has shrunk down to a more like collector, like based niche hobby. And I think it'll stay there for a while, you know, and I don't think it's going to completely die off anytime soon. If it was, we'd be seeing signs of this stuff. You know, we'd be seeing some of the labels like slow down, stop put stuff out, but they're like on hyper mode right now, like throwing out freaking 10 titles a month. Vinegar Syndrome's still throwing out 25 titles a month. The studios are still going. They've still got plenty of stuff in the pipeline. Warner Bros. Still got stuff. I think we're good for now, guys. I think we're good. You know, people have been talking about, when I say the slow death of physical media, it's because people have been talking about it for like the past 15 years. And we're still here. Yes, it's shrunk, but those of us that love it and are super passionate about it, like we ain't going nowhere. Like we're going to still buy and collect this stuff, even if it's at a smaller scale, because I get prices and stuff like that. A lot of people have scaled back on what they're getting. Like I get that, but we're still going to get it because we love this stuff and we love the idea of getting to own our favorite films. And I feel like there are like more people coming back into the hobby. There's people leaving, but there's also people coming back in as well, because they're getting fed up with streaming, and if only to buy their favorite films. You know, the people that still care about owning their favorite films, like they're coming back in, they're buying their favorite films. Like I said, it's not so much like I worry about the death of physical media as I worry about the death of the interest in movies themselves. Like that's what I worry about. What's it going to look like when we're all gone? You know, because most of the people that are watching me right now, I would guess, maybe I got some people on the younger side. I would guess most of you all are maybe late 20s to 50s, 60s, maybe for some of you, in that range. I don't really see anybody under like 28, 29 in here. Maybe there is, but most of y'all, the vast majority, 30 and up, probably in that range. What's going to happen when we're all gone? You know, that's what I think about. Now, should I care? You know, and at the end of the day, like, is that something to be that worked up and worried about? Like, there's other things to worry about that's going to happen in this world in the next like 50 years. But like, it definitely, it sucks. It makes me feel sad, for the future and for people to not be able to experience entertainment in this form. I think there'll always be a form of entertainment, but entertainment's obviously evolving. What it's going to evolve into, I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I mean, I think there'll always be movies, but obviously in the next like 10 years, things are going to change drastically as far as like the studio system and how that operates, as far as how Hollywood operates. Are we even going to have like big budget movies in 10 years, or is it all going to be like independent stuff, like niche stuff? Like, and there's going to be like maybe one or two theaters like in a city, maybe like 10 theaters per state or something like that. And they're all going to be like smaller, like privately owned, um, like just art house theaters, essentially. Like we may still have like Alamo Draft House and stuff like that. Is it going to be that kind of thing where it's a smaller scale, smaller theaters because they're not bringing in as many people, and it's all going to be like smaller to mid-budget films. They're not going to spend more than 5 million on a movie. Like I worry about that kind of stuff more than I do the death of physical media. Um, See, books are a different story. Like you want to talk about something that stood the test of time. Books have been around since when? Forever? Like since for like 2,000, 3,000 years the written word has been around. So like I don't see books going anywhere. Like that's a form of entertainment that stood the test of time. Like that's going to be here. Whereas movies have not yet stood the test of time to that level. They've been around for 130 years, and physical media, especially, like that boomed in the 80s, the 90s, 2000s. It had like a run of maybe 30 years. And in the 2010s, it started to dwindle off because of streaming. So, like, actual like physical movies, like, think of what people did before. Like, you had physical media. Like, there was 80 years of cinema, 70, 80 years of cinema, and they had no option to own it. They could watch it on TV maybe when TVs came out in the 50s. So there was like 50 years where they could just see it in the theaters. So for 80 years, they didn't have an option to own stuff, you know? So it's like this thing that we have right now has only been around for what, 45 years, 40 years? And maybe you can go back to the late 70s or types of home media and stuff that you could get. But it ain't been long. It ain't been long enough to stand the test of time, and it's only captured like one specific generation, right? The generation of people that grew up in the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. Like, what's that? The millennials? Maybe like Gen X. Like it's got us, and that's it. Like, and it didn't last long enough to get anybody else. Like, so I don't know. That's the way I see it. It's got a hard road ahead of it, I guess, physical media, I feel like, because it doesn't have um that built-in like fan base, people that support it like just for decades. Like it just doesn't have that, It just has like a specific generation to support it. And when we're all gone, where's it gonna go? Because kids ain't vibing with the movies like we do. Not the movies of the 80s and the 90s. They ain't. That's why, like, most of the physical media releases, like when you're talking about old school, like movies coming out, the Vinegar Syndrome's putting out, Scream Factory, Arrow, they're all like from 70s, 80s, 90s. They're all from that generation. So I don't know. What do you guys think about it? I've said my piece. Is physical media dying? Yeah, probably. Probably. But it's not dying anymore today than it was yesterday, 2 weeks ago, 2 years ago, 5 years ago, 10 years ago. We're all in the same boat that we were. So it ain't nothing to get worked up about. Like I said in the beginning of the stream, just enjoy it. I try to enjoy it. People are like, wait, Ken, why are you buying so much? Why you get so much? I'm enjoying it. I'm getting cool stuff, and I'm going to get to enjoy this stuff for the next, hopefully, like 40 years. Hopefully I make it at least another 40. I got all kinds of cool stuff. I can literally like I've got a video store in here. Like I can browse my own shelves and explore stuff that damn, I don't even remember I had this. That's awesome to me. Like I love that. Like people are like, I watch everything as it comes in. And I get that. And I wish I could be that way sometimes. I really do. But other times I look at all this shit on my shelves and I'm just I look ahead. Like I've had years of like exploring my own collection. Being like, oh damn, I remember getting this. Let me check this out. And then it's a movie that blows my mind. Like that's always the best feeling. Um, and that's what I love about collecting. It's the exploration that drives me to continue. It really does. But everybody collects in different ways, and that's we all just need to respect that. Respect that. Hollywood's dying fast. Well, yeah, yeah. We got Mega Mike the Movie Man in here. What's going on, Mega? How you doing, buddy? Let me go back up here. What are you guys saying? 7 is better than ever on 4K. I love what Fincher did to fix the errors. Yeah, I thought it looked great. Yeah, I did. I didn't say physical media is dying tomorrow, you know. We are very protective. It's like our kids, you know. This shit's our kids, you know. We love it. The Bad Boys movies are dumb in every way, poorly directed, acted, bland villains. I won't argue with bland villains. I don't think the Bad Boys movies had the best villains. But like Mark Lawrence and Will Smith in those movies, they're not bland. You know, they're some of the most charismatic, like fun, entertaining characters in any action film. Like I love those two. They have great chemistry too. I'd put their chemistry up against Mel Gibson and Danny Glover's chemistry any day. Any day. That's just my opinion, though. That's just my opinion. I grew up with the Bad Boys films. Like I was a kid of the '90s. You know, I didn't grow up with Lethal Weapon. I saw them. You know, but those are my dad's movies. You know, the Bad Boys are mine. I have a Blu-ray recorder in my computer. I've never recorded a single thing with it. Yeah. Actually, could use blank disc, but DVDs will work. I saw a VHS that copied on disc. Nice, nice, nice. I get it, but you know, I guess it just depends on when you grew up. You know, I grew up in the Fresh Prince era, Martin. Like I watched those shows when I was a kid, and then when they made a movie together, I was like, "Holy shit!" I loved it. So you guys can argue with me, but you're just arguing perspective and nostalgia. I mean, I still think Bad Boys is a great movie, though. First one, the second one's not a great movie. But Best Buy is a mortuary without physical media. I haven't been in there since. I thought about it. Just turned 30. There you go. Collect comics as well. I work in physical media store, and 2024 was far more profitable for us than 2023. Maybe it's because the major retailers bailed out. Probably why. And also I think there's a bigger push right now to support the smaller businesses. You know, people are really turning away. You're going to see that more and more. People are really turning away from the corporate, entities. And me myself, like I need to get out there more because I haven't been thrifting in a long time. I haven't been to some of my thrifting spots in a while. I try to frequent my half price books and stuff, but I haven't been there in like 2 or 3 months. So I've been wanting to get out there and do some more thrifting recently. So I need to. I need to go try to actively make more of an effort to support those smaller businesses out there because without them, like, it's going to be way more boring, to hunt for in-store media out there. And I love that experience. Let's see. Guys, we're going to get out of here really soon. I said I was going to try to get out of here 11:15. We're close. If you guys have any last minute questions, get them in. I appreciate you guys being here. Couldn't you buy some movies on actual film in the 60s and 70s? Probably, but that was probably for like the rich people. I don't see normal people buying film back then. I don't see that being the norm. Streaming is still unproven as the end game. We may not have this, but ownership of some form. I mean, that's a good point. That streaming is just as unproven and untested as physical media, if not more. So I mean, that's a good point. But I don't know. I don't see it. I only see streaming like getting better, quality getting better as technology improves. I don't see it getting worse. Tubi is an amazing streaming platform. Tubi is freaking awesome. It is awesome. Like almost every boutique release I talk about on here, like you can find it on Tubi. Like use Tubi to test out a lot of this stuff, guys, if you want to see if it's worth getting before you own it. I never had any super bits. No, I never had it. Yeah, they are on my damn lawn. Get on my freaking lawn, kids. Speaking of something that needs a 4K, freaking Gran Torino needs a freaking 4K. I love Gran Torino. We got 818 Sega with a $5 super chat. Thank you so much, 818 Sega. I collect movies, video games, CDs, and vinyl. Enjoy your shit and support your local stores that sell it. Yeah, I want to get back out there and collect some more video games. Like, do I need more shit to collect? But it's like, I want to collect some more stuff on my PS3. Try to get those games. I think gaming is very important to collect physically, especially the older stuff, because you don't know what's going to be available in the future. Yeah, 7's great. We collect because we love it. Bottom line. Now is the time to collect and enjoy, especially if it's declining. Yeah, just enjoy. Don't worry about it declining. Like nothing lasts forever. Nothing lasts forever. You don't last forever. Nothing lasts forever. Just if you enjoy it now, then enjoy it. And if it goes away, it goes away. There's nothing you can do about it. You can't go out there and try to buy like every release that comes out to try to save it. Like that's not going to just buy what you can buy, and always think of yourself and your own wallets. If something's like super expensive, don't feel like you got to support some smaller label when they're pricing shit like super high. Like I'm so against that mindset. Like just because they're a smaller label, they can throw something out there that's $100 and you got to support it. It's like, no, I don't. Like I'm the consumer. Like you gotta try to get me. It ain't the other way around. The whole idea of like, you need to go to the theaters to support this movie. No, the theaters need to make me want to come. And the movie needs to feel like it's must see. And the studios need to make me feel like it's must see. And I need to see it in the theaters. And it's not just going to be on Peacock or Netflix in 2 weeks. So why do I go to the theaters? It's up to them to make me come. It ain't the other way around. I don't have to support them. That's not my obligation. My obligation is to my own pocketbook. That's it. I don't have no obligation to anybody else. Now, obviously, you can make choices, and sometimes the choice you'll make if you feel like you want to support something is you'll support it and you'll try to support it to the fullest extent. But if it doesn't feel like it's something that you need to support, then don't support it. I heard it wasn't good. I want to see it though. I do want to see it. Candy Levels, besides the simple plan, what was the movie you watched last year that was a memorable experience to you? Hardcore, which did not release in 2024. I think it released in 2023, but Hardcore, George C. Scott was behind a simple plan. My favorite first time watch. I thought that movie was incredible. So incredible. That was definitely memorable. Thank you for being here, Jordo. Let's see. Canceled all my streaming. Can't sustain. They pump millions and millions into these shows in long periods of time, all for people to binge watch entire shows in one day. Yeah, I get it. I get it. I get it. I do get it. Look, I appreciate you guys. I love you guys. Thank y'all for hanging out with me. Thank you to Bloodwire Radio, Johnny Utah, Scorpion fans, Daniel Martin, Average Dan's Opinion, Gus A, Robert Josephson, Avengers Dude 2, Jordo's Video Village, Haas McPizza, 818 Sega for all the super chat love tonight. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate everybody for joining. Don Omega, Aaron Click, Movie Man, Master Glorious, Giorasa, 77, Beetlejuice coming in at the last minute, Jasper playing 9, Patrick Williams, Scrooge McDuck is here tonight, guys. Scrooge McDuck. Oh my goodness. So many great people. Mike Barrett is here. Rob is here. We need to get more Chuck Norris on 4K. Absolutely. But thank you all so much for hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate you guys. I posted about this. I posted about it in my community tab. I was just sitting there thinking, I'm like, I'm so like fortunate that I have the people that I do that watch my stuff. I really am. So I just posted about how much I appreciate it. And I do, every comment, every like, just the fact that y'all watch, like I wouldn't be here if you didn't watch. I literally wouldn't. So thank you all so much for supporting me always. We're on the road to 32,000 subscribers. I'm like 250 away. Thank you all so much. But yeah, like the stream, guys. Comment after the stream. That helps out with the algorithm and all that stuff. And I will see you guys later.